Hello, awkwardly awesome podcast. And in 3, 2, 1. Hi, welcome to Awkwardly Awesome Podcast. Today I'm excited to have one of my great and very accomplished friends, Stacey Ellen, on the show. Before I bring her on, let me read you Stacey's bio. Stacey Ellen is the CEO of Rebel Heart Leaders, a business and life mentoring company that trains entrepreneurs and business owners on how to master heart-centered leadership so they can live with more joy and create financial success with ease. Ooh, that sounds really good. She believes that as you heal and master yourself, your inner light shines brighter and ripples out to help heal the planet. That's beautiful, Stacey. I'm getting excited before she even comes on. As a certified success coach and Reiki master, Stacey speaks on stages worldwide and helps people create the personal recipe for success in business and personal achievements. Stacey's clients fully awaken to the power to create multiple six-figure businesses and attract more opportunities in all areas of life. She's contributed to 2 best-selling books, and her clients often call her the secret weapon, as she guides them to become the best version of themselves and to connect to the abundance around them. Will you help me please welcome Stacey Ellen?
Woo! Hi.
Hi, Stacey. Welcome to Awkwardly Awesome Podcast.
It's so great to be here. So good to see you, Jason. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for such a nice introduction. So sweet.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm very glad to have you on during this unique time called 2020.
Dun, 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 dun. I feel like it needs some like big right. Yeah.
And some people might be experiencing a lot of struggle this year, so I'm glad to have you on to talk about not only working through the struggle, but getting through ease, getting to ease.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason.
So like, does a person find ease like just overnight, as a more of a process?
Yeah.
Can I drink a potion that gives me ease?
Well, I did put a little ease in what you got going on, right? Drinking right there. So you might feel it right now, right away.
Thank you.
But no, it's a great question because I believe that most of us are not born feeling like life is easy and that everything will be easy, and it's not always easy, right? But oftentimes I feel that we as humans we're taught that we must work really hard, we must do things the hard way, and things we have to push to be successful, right? We have to do these things a certain way, and instead of really doing the inner work on ourselves, stepping into the fullest expression of who we are, and really sharing that purpose and passion and what we love with the world. Like, business can get easier when we are fully aligned with what we're doing and really coming from a heart-centered place and feeling good about it, right? Feeling joyful as we do it. Like, that's been one of my biggest lessons, and that's why I created Rebel Heart Leaders. That's why that version of my business came to me. And actually, that wasn't very long ago. I didn't have the name of the company forever, but now it's fully taken root in this Rebel Heart leadership, because that is a big piece of it. Like, learning how to express yourself, embracing personal transformation as a way of life in tandem as you build business, because they go hand in hand. So these are some of the concepts and core things that I love to discuss. So thank you. For me personally, it doesn't happen overnight. And guess what? It's an ongoing practice, right? It is an ongoing practice of really tuning in to what feels good in every given moment. And what strategy do I think would also be most aligned to me? Because I got to tell you, I've gone down so many paths that that weren't fully aligned, and we can talk about that a little bit if you'd like.
We might get to that, but first, I know on many occasions in my life, I like you mentioned, we're taught to think that success comes with hard work, and on many occasions of my life, when I started feeling good, I almost distrusted that good feeling. Wow. I'm like, I should be struggling, and then I would find ways to make it harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, totally. And that is such a human, what most of us do, right? When something feels too good, right? It's oh my gosh, it's too good to be true. Like, can it really be this easy? Can I really, create in this way? And I still, like I said, it's an ongoing process. Like, it's not always easy. And I'm not, also on the piggyback of what we're talking about, yes, building a business still takes work. I'm not saying there's not work involved and being an entrepreneur and creating and really tuning in and doing all these things we're discussing, right? There's definitely work to be had, but it starts with you and then goes into the strategy portion of it. So yeah. Sabotage is what you're just talking about, right? Sabotage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Before we go on, you already have a fan giving comments. Mikey Cohen says, "We love Stacey Ellen. She's so beautiful. She's an incredible speaker. Look at her smile."
Thanks, Mikey. Good to see you.
And Jennifer Joe says hi. She's amazing. Speaking of, you were talking about the work that goes into ease, and you said something profound as we were preparing for this. You told me it's in doing the work that ease flows. It's in doing the work that ease flows.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 years ago, when I got into all this, I'm like, if it's going to be easy, I don't have to do the work. And doing the work means that I'm not doing it right. Can you say anything about that?
Yeah, and just to clarify, when I was saying that, and maybe this is what you're referring to as well, like doing the work means doing a lot of the interpersonal transformational work in tandem as you step out into entrepreneurship. because those things aren't separate, right? Like everything that we do and everything that we're choosing on a moment by moment basis, because we have that the sovereignty of our own lives in order to choose, right? And to make decisions on a moment by moment basis. So our physical, our mental, our emotional, like all aspects of who we are intertwined into everything we do in building business. And I always say in my talks, like, we don't go to bed and we're one person, right? We're at home, we're getting ready for bed, and then we go to bed, we're one person, then we get up, put different clothes on, and we go to work, or we start working and we're somebody else, right? We're the same person. So there's that congruency, right? That we all get to start to practice throughout not only who you're being, behind closed doors, but how do you bring like your beliefs, your values, and start to express that, whether it's online or, in the groups that you visit, or, whomever you're wanting to attract into your sphere, because those are the things that people want to know about you, right? It's not so much that we follow a strategy anymore, right? Because there's a million strategies out there. There's a million ways to attract, different types of abundance in different areas, but it's all in who we're, it's the finding the right path, right, for us. And we do that by really starting to express more of who we are first. And then the other then you start to attract people, right? And then the other pieces get that much easier because you're building your fan base as you go. Yeah.
What would you say to someone who says, "Hey, Stacey, I love it, just be more myself, but I've been hiding out for so long, and I don't know where to start. It doesn't feel safe to be myself."
Yeah.
What would you say to that person?
Yeah, and that's so common, right? So that's not a one-off, just so everybody knows is listening. This isn't a, maybe that's them and that's not me. I feel like we all, to this day, it's there's always more that I can even step out, right? There's always more you could be doing. There's always more of ourselves that we can show to the world. So this isn't just a one type of person. This is all of us, right? And so, but to that one,
I love that.
Yeah, but to that one specific person, like one of the things when, my people are coming to me and we're just getting started, like mirror work is so, it can be so telling of how you feel about yourself, getting in front of the mirror and starting to repeat some of these positive affirmations to yourself and see how
what kind of affirmation?
Like I'm amazing. I have everything it takes to create the success I desire. Money flows easily to me, abundantly to me, here, now, always. Everything is for my highest good, right here, right now. I have everything I need right now. And as you start to say these things to yourself, notice what comes up within you. Like, it might feel a little awkward because it might be the first time you're doing this, but then just notice, like, is it awkward though from just I'm trying a new thing, or is it that it just doesn't feel good? Like, is it like, my stomach, this hurts saying this to myself? There's a difference there, right? So really getting connected back to yourself first will help, right? In any instance. And we can do that through mirror work. We can do that through breath. I know, Jason, you're a big believer in connecting to your breath.
How would you explain to someone a simple breath exercise?
Yeah, very simple one. Yeah, there's a three breath approach. I teach my peeps. The easiest thing you can do right off the bat here is the 5 count. So you take 5 counts in and make sure you're starting from your stomach. Because it's when we're here breathing from our chest is when it's normally we're in some form of fight or flight. We're stressed, and when we're stressed, we're breathing from our chest versus the proper way to breathe from the stomach. So notice that and start to take these deep breaths from the stomach.
And the stomach goes out on the
all the way up. Yeah, and you hold it 5 counts, and then out. Release 5 counts. And I do out the mouth a couple times and out the nose once, 3 times. You can do it any time of the day. And ultimately, this will help you just get back centered, grounded into your body. I also have a meditation. If you think your people might be interested in like a 10-minute meditation to release stress, and it's 10 minutes or less, and it can help you really tune in to you, release negativity, release all the energy you don't want, and really pull you back to you so you start to feel calm, cool, and collective.
I think my people will love a meditation.
Yeah, we were talking about it, so I was just thinking about it.
Can you drop the link in the comments, and we'll see it.
Do I just type it? Let's see. We'll see if this works here. I have a chat box. Is that what you're thinking?
We'll see. I'm pretty new to this. While you're doing this, Chris Burns says, "Shine on you too."
Hi there.
Chris is an awesome interviewer who's had us both on his podcast. And
he's amazing.
He's amazing. We love you, Chris.
Yeah. So I just posted. If you can't see it,
Oh, cool! You posted it in the private chat, so I can cut and paste.
Oh, okay. There you go.
To the.
That's all I have access to.
Check this out. Check this technology out, Stacey.
Well,
look at this. Look here.
Maybe for the people listening, because if you're running this on the podcast, it's members.Stacey Ellen, STACEYELLEN.com/meditation. And actually, I think that just, if I'm remembering correctly, this is a very quick, it goes to a landing page, you put your name, you drop your name, email, and then you'll be able to get the less than 10-minute meditation. You can download it as well. If I'm remembering, that's how that. So pretty easy.
I love that it's less than 10 minutes, because so often when people, including me, used to think of, you should meditate, we think, well, I don't have an extra hour in my day to meditate. It sounds like so much work. Do I need to do it morning and night? And here, less than 10-minute meditation. Yeah. 10 minutes or less meditation, I should say it right.
It can be either or, right? Yeah. So there's that.
So
can I tie in one more thing we were speaking about?
Yeah, please, because
okay, because you had asked me about the ease portion as well, and I'm going to tie this into your brand here, because part of really creating ease is in the taking action part. So taking the imperfect action, being your imperfect best, right? Like what I find often is not only like myself and my clients, like we get stuck, right? People get stuck in the, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to do this because this, or this could happen, right? Or if I do this, this could happen. And I'm not sure if I should take this step. And so we start spinning, right? And in the spinning, we don't get anywhere. And so the thing is, part of learning how to be a sovereign leader is learning how to trust ourselves. And the more we begin to trust, the more we take that whatever feels good in that moment type step, right? The next best action step there, and trusting ourselves. And then we don't know, though. We take this imperfect best action step and we don't know whether it's going to fully align or not. We feel like it is in the moment, but guess what? We're going to get feedback. And it's in that feedback that we see contrast. And it's in the contrast that we'll know, okay, this isn't aligned to me, and I think that this would be a better move, right? And so that's exactly how like the most successful entrepreneurs are taking those imperfect best action steps, right? That we feel aligned in the moment and we take that step, but then it may or may not always be, it might not go exactly as planned, but guess what? We're going to get feedback and we're going to get contrast no matter what. Like if it goes great, awesome. But if not, what we call that?
What?
That marketing and testing.
I love it.
Like we're testing, right? Like everything is testing, especially as a business owner. Like, somebody, I gotta tell you, I've had many of mentors. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on mentors, and what works for somebody here may not work for you, right? Like you get to fully learn all these things and then really tune in to what makes most sense for you as you build your business, right? Like there's a lot of different awesome people out there that will help, but ultimately, like you're the leader, you're in charge of your own destiny. And the more you start to step out and show who you are, the easier, because we're talking about the ease, the abundance, the more that will, right, come to you in that way.
I love what you say about we step out and do something and we just give feedback.
Yeah.
And thinking of it just as feedback is so nice instead of thinking. I've stepped out so many times in my life thinking that I'm going to do this new thing, and then I make the first mistake and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not meant to do this thing, and the feedback doesn't mean that.
Right.
It just means learn from the feedback.
Learn from the feedback, exactly, and learn from the feedback, and and just it's a part of your testing, right? It's part of testing your market of what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Yeah, that's a big shift. That's been a big shift for me throughout the entrepreneurial journey, because there's been times where I worked on something for so long because I was stuck in the perfectionist space of like, oh, it has to look like this, it has to be like this, I have to deliver it in this way. And then I launch it and I didn't get the love that I wanted to, right? Like it went and I did it and I'm glad I did it, but it wasn't where I wanted it to go. So
isn't that so heartbreaking? Like we work on something for months and build it way up and we're like, yay, this is the best thing, and then we launch and make that sound again. Oh, that hurts so bad.
Yeah. And it was, but man, that was this one program I was talking about. It's about 4 years ago now, but what a learning lesson, right? Like, guess what? I got to learn that marketing is one of the most important things to do up front versus creating the program. Like I'm definitely a person, and maybe some people can relate to this that are watching it. Like I have to experience the thing to learn it. Like if you want to tell me not to do it, okay, cool. I'm still going to do it. And then I'm going to learn from whatever if I fall flat on my face, which is kind of the hard way. They call us resistant learners sometimes. But yeah, I definitely learned by doing, and there's been many of things that haven't worked, and there's been many of things that have been beautiful and have worked. And part of what, like, I've talked a lot about the energy, and I work with my own mentors still and help me stay aligned to my own energetic space. I just had a client, and that what happens when we do that, and when we actually not only just work on the strategy, but actually work on ourselves. Like it's amazing the ease that comes forward. Like I had an old client just today contact me and say, hey, I haven't talked, let's see, it's been about a couple of years.
Wow.
He came back and he's like, all right, I need more of this.
Wow. Doesn't that feel good?
Yeah. And that's the ease of the part of the ease, right? Like once you but that doesn't, it's not all the time space, but definitely when I feel aligned, like other things in my life will just flow in that way.
Well, you said you set us up perfectly for the next question. So sometimes when people are listening to the speaker, they like think, oh, Stacey Ellen, it's easy for you to say your life has always been simple and easy and straightforward, but it actually hasn't.
No.
In college, you had an event happen that could have set you on a completely different path
Yeah.
than you are now.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk just a little about that event and how you've learned from it and grown from it?
Yeah. I was September 20th, 1999, about to graduate college, and I got into a near-death car accident.
How close were you to graduating college?
I have 1 semester left.
Wow, so you're so close.
Yeah, so close. So frustrating. So yeah, I had to drop out a semester to heal. Like I went through a windshield, completely went through a windshield and back. That's when we didn't have airbags in cars. 89 Buick Century, grandma's car. And so
what color was it?
White,
White.
which I still have I have a white car to this day, so it didn't affect me in that way. However, I won't drive Buicks. Anywho, yeah, so it was it literally, it flipped my entire, every part of my life. That was one of my defining moments.
So you dropped out for a semester?
Yeah, I had to drop out for a semester. But the thing was, before the car accident, which I don't always say on stages that you hear, I was hanging around some really rough people. Maybe I say this. I was just not headed down the best path, right? My grades were okay. They weren't awesome. And like letting go and having this happen and everything, when I went back to school, I actually ended up getting straight A's for the first time, and I graduated on the honor roll. So, and I shifted everything, I shifted the people. I didn't hang out with the same people anymore. Like every aspect, like from friendship to people to like every aspect of my life shifted. And it was literally, and this is what I believe, that when we're not paying attention to what's aligned and what's not aligned, the universe, God, will step in and move us in a direction, oftentimes, if we're just completely off path, right? Off our, the path that we're meant to do and why we're here. And I feel like that was a big pattern interrupt is what we call them often. It was a huge pattern interrupt.
And a lot of feedback.
A lot of feedback. You're funny. Yeah, a lot of feedback. Yeah, and so it was, but thereafter, so lived with a very uneven face. My face was really bad, and I lived with a really messed up face and smile. I still have scars to this day, which, as you know, they don't define me anymore, but they did at that time. At that time, it was, I felt less than. I was my early 20s. I didn't think the relationship would ever come. I was, I was so low,
But since then, your honey has come. And
He did. But hold on, ladies, if you haven't met him, I didn't meet my man till late 30s. We didn't get married till I was 40 years old. So it doesn't matter if you're a late bloomer. Like if you're doing the work on you, and the right match for you will show up when it's time. Like I could have told you I was ready in my 30s, but I wasn't. I had to go through a lot to get to that point of, being ready for the other to show up. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, and great story too. But I want to ask you. So you use this thing that happened in college, the car accident, to transform your life. You used it as a catalyst to to set you on a new path. But you could have gone down the path of being a victim for the rest of your life, and you could be saying today, you know, my life could have been really great, but in college, this thing happened and it spoiled my life.
Right.
So talk about the choice you made of using the feedback to help you transform instead of to paralyze you.
Yeah. This is what I feel when we fall, when we go into a challenge, it's not just one choice, right? We get to choose over and over and over again, because our minds will start to spin back as we want to move forward. Oftentimes we get pulled back, right? Old thought patterns, old things come into play. And so it was definitely ongoing, like choosing again and again that I knew I was meant for more. And when you're laying on the ground, unable to move, and you hear this voice that comes to you, it literally was clear as day, and said, and I asked, am I done? Is this it? And the voice says, no, Stacey, you have a lot more to do in this life. I mean, that's what I heard. And so at that moment, I relaxed a little bit. I mean, I was in bad shape at that time, but those are the things that I think back on. And I trust, learning how to trust that we're not alone here, that I truly believe we have a spirit team around us, guiding us, there for us if we ask, and I connect with a lot of that. And then also just reminding myself over and over that I consistently have a choice who I want to be, how I want to show up, what I'm doing, and I'm not going to lie, there's been times through this 2020 where it's just been Netflix. I've been Netflixing.
Netflix.
Flexing the Netflix. Goofy. Okay, but we have choices, right? And then our choices will either move us forward or they'll keep us where we are. And that's really something I believe I remind myself over and over again. I'm also a very stubborn person. I know I've just, when you tune into some of the things that you're meant to do, right? I think that's something that we forget, that we can just sit with ourselves and, really get to know ourselves, and then go try these things that feel good to us. And that ultimately will even get us out of that slump that we're in. And so I just knew that, there was more for me to do in this life. And that's really been my motto over and over again. Like, what do I want to choose next? Because from there, it was go move to Chicago and try to make it in a big city, right? And I chose that. Now, was it my end all living in Chicago and being in corporate? No. But did I learn a lot going up that ladder, right? And going through all these different companies. I mean, I worked in every type of company. Well, yeah, because I learned sales and marketing, right? I learned sales and marketing. And so that was a big, and how to connect with people and communication in the workplace, and all of these things that I wouldn't have had if I didn't go through that experience. So that's the other thing. We get to look back with the contrast, right, of the things that didn't, we know that we're fully aligned, but we can deem the growth. We can pull the growth from them, right? We can look back and be like, okay, what did I learn from this? Like, what can I take with me now? And what can I leave behind? Because as much as we can see the lessons and what we learned and the growth we had, we can leave behind and learn, this is not who I want to be when I run my company. I'm not going to be like this company. You learn who you don't want to be as well, just as much, right?
As a fellow entrepreneur, learning sales and marketing is huge. Yeah. It's so good you learn that.
Yeah, but it's different when you step out on your own company, right? You're marketing you versus. So that was the shift that I got to make, and that I got to learn, what's the best ways for me versus, selling other stuff. But some of the same principles, yes.
So some of our viewers might be, or not might be, will probably be listening to you and all inspired and starting to think of the next step they want to take in life, whether it's starting a business, running a marathon, crocheting a 20-foot blanket. I don't know where I got that. But then they will say, it is 2020. Things are so hard right now. I'm worried about myself, my loved ones. Maybe I should just wait until things get better before I do anything more than try to survive. What were you? And they're in a really human place.
Yeah.
Well, what would you tell these people?
Yeah. I would tell them first off that initial feeling and thought of what you just said is very natural. Like maybe I should wait. You know, like maybe this isn't the right time. And it's here, I'll make it lighter here. It's just like having a baby, or like if you've never been parents before, there's never going to be the right time. Like there's never a one right time, right? To do anything that you're passionate about. There's never one time that's going to be like, okay, now's the right time. I fall into this pattern as well. Like there's times where I fall into this as well of like, okay, well, I have to do this and this, and then I can do this. And I would say, yes, your feelings are very normal in this space, and it's okay to feel. Like we get to feel through things in order to heal. And start to take one small step. Start to take that little, what the inspired action step is what I call it. Like being inspired into action. Like what lights you up now? If it is running a marathon and you know you get to train for it, like what's just a little step that you can take in the here and now? And I know Jason talks a lot about this too in his coaching and speaking. Like what's that just small step you can take right here, right now, just to get started? Because when we stay in our heads, we start to, you know, we get stuck, we get overwhelmed, we feel like we're lacking clarity.
And we start to spin, as you were saying before. We just go.
Yeah, we just spin, right? And spinning just perpetuates more lack of clarity, right?
I don't know about you, but I get dizzy.
And we get dizzy. So yeah, so take a step off of the spinning wheel. No, really though, it's literally just tuning into what is this small next action step I can take, you know? And that's like right now, that's how I'm moving forward. Because I know a lot of entrepreneurs and people often also had a tendency to take on too much at once. Because when you were listing all those things, I'm like, oh yeah, that could be me. I'm doing this and this and this and this and this. And guess what happens when we take on too much at once?
We end up scattered or not doing any of it.
Yeah. Or doing it all just a little bit and nothing you don't complete anything. Right? That's been a very focus of mine this year because we have the time. Like what can I personally core focus on to take it to completion? I know I have a list of things that I want to complete. I'm giving you visuals. Wait, it's like this. Wait, what? A list of things I want to complete, but it's literally like what is for my highest good right here, right now. And if you like what you're hearing today, please follow me on YouTube. Type in Stacey Ellen and my channel will come up. That is one of the things I'm core focused on right now, is providing valuable content coming out soon on YouTube.
So go to YouTube and type in Stacey Ellen.
Yeah, and you'll see I'm in the red picture. Yeah, type in Stacey Ellen and subscribe. And then there will be weekly videos starting to come out there.
And what else? What if someone's like, I'm so inspired, I just want to know more about Stacey. I want to maybe send her a message and see how we can work further together or whatever. How is there another way for people to get in touch?
Yeah, that's so sweet. Thank you for bringing that in. You know, I'm actually in the midst of getting a website upgrade, but I do still have my old website up. And if you go to my site, staceyellen.com, there is a place there where you can message me. And if you send me an email through there, I will happily respond and get back in touch with you. And we could set, if you're looking for coaching or support, getting to the next level in your business, you know, that.
I spelled that way, didn't I, Stacey?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah. So that, yeah, people, you can go there too. I also have another gift on that site if you want to learn some secrets to turning conversations to cash and connecting with people and connecting with them quickly. So you can download that as well. That's on the site. But yeah, if you want to connect with me one-on-one, shoot me a message through there, and then somebody I'll definitely get back to you, and we can set up a time to talk, have a session if you'd like a session, and really empower you to move forward with grace and ease.
Well, thanks so much for coming on and inspiring people to really think about what they want to do in life, and then not only that, but take the next steps forward. Is there anything else you want to say or do before we end?
Oh, I know what you want me to do at this point.
It was an open-ended question.
Well, guys, you know, Jason and I just have to share this. Jason and I have been speaker buddies for probably the last 8 years. And what does that mean? We've spoken on many stages together.
Across the country.
Audiences. And this guy is one of the best professional, personal speakers and empowering people that I know. So I want to share that with everyone here who's listening. Yeah. Awesome. And it's been such a blast. It's almost like we've grown up together in the speaker world. Yeah, we love to speak and inspire audiences. So I love that we share that passion together.
We knew each other way back when we were speakers using crayons. That didn't quite work.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And then one of the things that I would always share with people, because I truly believe that one of the things that inspires us most, and we don't have it right now here, like any actual music kicking, but music. Music is so healing. Music connects people, everyone around the world. And that's what we need more of right now, right? Love, kindness, compassion, connection.
Yes.
And that's and empathy.
And empathy, yeah.
And music does that. And so oftentimes there was something I like to share with people. And it would go something like, I almost want to stand. Can I stand for you guys? There we go.
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay. It's like, what would you do if you could be you? Be your own star. Be who you are. What would you do if you could love you? I know yourself. Say what's true.
Oh, yeah.
You got me.
Oh, thanks so much, Stacey. Thanks for coming on and inspiring us, and then singing too. I love it when you're singing.
Thanks,
You
Nick.
have such a beautiful voice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a really wonderful day.
You too. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for being here.